Hey everyone, welcome back to Anamanji, and today we're going to be reacting or reviewing the first episode of Westworld. Now, if you are anything like me, you were super excited to see this first episode of Westworld, especially after the extended period that it was away. I was a huge fan of the first season. Westworld was a shockingly good series. Now, I'm not going to say that I wasn't expecting it to be good, but it over-exceeded my expectations. The story was fantastic, memorable characters, fantastic performances, and it kind of stuck with you after you finished watching it. But it also had a lot of unanswered questions and a lot of things that didn't really make sense that we were all kind of hoping, or that I was hoping, would be answered or explained further in the next season. So here we are, 2018, and Westworld is finally back. So how was it? Well, I feel like the first episode was very good, and I feel that way for a few reasons. Now, of course, it's just the first episode of a season, so there's a lot of story building to do. There are a lot of threads that started here, and I'm interested to see where they're going. So this season picks up literally right after Dolores shoots her master, and the robots kind of take over. They all become self-aware and take over. We get to see a little bit of what's going on after that. But it also takes place 2 weeks later, where we see that Bernard has washed up on shore, and he doesn't have any memories of anything, or from what they've shown us, it doesn't seem like he really knows what's going on. So those are the two timelines that we're pretty much playing with here. The events right after the season finale, and 2 weeks after that. As far as the story here, I feel like it's really interesting, and that's because we are reintroduced to Dolores, this new awakened Dolores, and she is, I mean, ruthless. You can see that she's just attacking every human in sight. But what's interesting is that she's also attacking some of the other hosts, which is weird, because if you watch the first season, and if you haven't done so, you might want to go ahead and do that. In the first season, Dolores creator Arnold realized that the robots had the ability to become self-aware, so he didn't feel comfortable with the idea of the humans coming in there doing horrible things to them, because he realized that they could actually really be hurting people with a real conscience and memories and feelings. So he wanted to free them all, and he wanted them all to be able to escape this prison. And so he put things in place to make sure that happened. And of course, his partner, played by Anthony Hopkins, realized later on that was a good idea, and to go ahead and help him complete it. So it's interesting to see that after Dolores finally becomes self-aware, that she would kill off some of the hosts, because isn't this a dream that Arnold wanted them all to have? Isn't this what he wanted for all of them? I'm sure that there weren't any select hosts that he wanted that he wanted to be free. Now, I understand that Dolores was the one that he used as a gateway of sorts for the rest of them, but why would she be killing the rest of them off? Any ideas? We are reintroduced to Maeve, played by Tandy Newton, who was a standout last season, and she continues to be a standout here. She's still looking for her daughter, and she kidnaps one of the workers there to help her follow a map and find out exactly where her daughter is, because she believes that her daughter is still there. And of course, she meets up with another host, and they all go on this mission. Now, as much as I like Maeve, I'm not sure where this particular storyline or this story thread is going. I understand that, she wants to find her daughter and everything, but how that plays into the larger story here, it's not clear yet. It would be disappointing if Maeve, who plays such a large, pivotal part in the first season, would be downplayed to only a mom looking for her child in this one. I mean, that's just my own personal opinion. I hope that that's not all that she does. Now, she does have like some really, really good scenes here where she shows that she's still like the intense, aggressive Maeve that we've all come to know and love. But, is she just going to have a few action scenes and the rest is going to be her looking for her daughter? Or is there something bigger coming here? I don't know. But she's back and she's wonderful. We also go back in time with Bernard to see what he was going through after the robot rebellion. And we see that he ran away with a group of humans and of course Tessa Thompson, who was playing the evil corporate leader in the first season. And they were just basically running away from the robots and trying to survive. So we get like a closer look at what was going on through their eyes, which was pretty intense, and I believe it was well done. But we also see that Bernard is having some issues. We all know that he that he came to the realization that he was just another host that Anthony Hopkins had created in the same image as his friend Arnold. So it seems like he's still battling with that realization, and also it seems like he's having some issues internally. While he's running away with some of the humans, he gets knocked down and he realizes that some fluid that I believe is important for their brains to function, some fluid is running out of his ears, and he's twitching and everything. So he has to try and sneak and grab some of that fluid from another robot to just kind of keep himself going. And that's interesting because we don't really know what's going on with him or why all of a sudden he's been corrupted in a sense. But it seems like that's going to play a rather large role in what else is going on here. Also, I believe that Bernard is probably going to have a really tough time balancing his loyalty to his actual kind and the kind that he thought, or the species that he thought he belonged to. Because there's a scene where they are trying to attack a host because they are afraid, and he's trying to save the host because he believes that he's harmless and everything like that. He tries to explain that to him, but they don't want to hear it. And one of them even calls the host merchandise, and not to risk your life over merchandise. So it'll be very interesting to see how he balances trying to be human while also trying to protect his kind. I believe that will be a very interesting thing to witness. Also returning here in this first season is Ed Harris, who is once again playing the man in black, and he's finally getting what he always wanted, which is to be in a game with high stakes. All of the robots are killing all of the humans. We see he has to run for his life. He has to duck and cover and everything. He even witnesses a guy get shot dead right in front of him. And he's just like, wow, you can tell that deep inside he's just loving it. He's loving all of it. He goes and gets his hat. He puts it back on again. He is really enjoying this. But something that happens is a robot that was made in the image of Anthony Hopkins when he was a kid tells him that there is another game that he needs to find. And that adds a little bit of mystery, because from what I thought, he was looking for a game that wasn't for him. So now there seems to be a game that is for him that he needs to find. So the Man in Black is on yet again another search for something else. But in my opinion, I'm thinking, well, you got what you wanted. So what else is there for you to find? What other game could there be for you? That'll be very interesting to see. Something else that I want to bring up is Dolores and her motivations here. So Dolores is awakened, and she is speaking with Teddy, who was played by James Marsden, about what she wants. You know, she wants to take over the island, but she also wants to go into what she quotes as a world much larger than this. So she wants to take that from the humans as well, because based on her memories, they've done so many bad things. She clearly doesn't want them around anymore. She is not the forgiving type. She is scorned, and she wants to make everyone feel the pain that she has felt. Now, in my opinion, this makes Dolores seem like a bit of a one-note villain. And you can argue with me on that, of course, because you can say, well, if she has memories of all the horrible things that humans have done to all the robots and all that, and she's becoming self-aware and she remembers all of this, then it would make sense for her to want revenge. You're right. But world domination, come on. A robot bent on world domination is not very original, in my opinion. And I really hope that there's more to it than that. She did say that she wanted to show Teddy something so that he could see the truth. So we don't know what that is yet. So maybe what she shows him or what she knows, I'm pretty sure she hasn't explained. We don't really understand her motivations completely yet. Maybe after she shows us what this truth is, we'll understand a little bit more why she wants to do this. Maybe even be on her side. But right now, as it stands, it doesn't seem very original, and it was a little bit disappointing to hear her say that she just wants to take over the world, basically. Let me know what you guys think. But of course, we have to talk about the ending here, which is Bernard 2 weeks in the future, walking around with this elite force who has come in to try and save some of the humans and get rid of all the hosts. They get to this part of an island which no one knew was there. So either the island's geography is changing, or Anthony Hopkins found a way to hide this giant lake or this giant ocean, body of water. And we see that all the hosts are there, but they're dead. And we go down there and we take a look at all the all the bodies, and Bernard says that they ask Bernard what happened here, and he says, I killed them all. Okay, which is like what happened? And then they close in on someone who I believe looks like Teddy. I think it's Teddy. And he appears to be dead, floating in the water. Do you guys have any idea of who that could be? Because I think it looks like Teddy, but it could be someone else. They closed in on the character, and I just couldn't make out their face very, very well. So I don't know who that is really. I'm going to go with that, but if you guys think it's someone else, let me know in the comments below. So that's the big question, right? What happened between the robot rebellion and when Bernard woke up that led to all of the hosts, or a very large amount of them, being killed and thrown into this body of water? Of course, that's supposed to keep us coming back for more, and in my opinion, it definitely worked, because I am really confused here. Why would Bernard kill the hosts? Was that him realizing that maybe the hosts were doing too much? Was that him turning against Dolores and her rebellion? I'm not sure, but there's a lot of questions here and no answers. All I know is that Westworld is back, and I'm super excited for this. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. Are you excited to see the rest of Season 2, or were you disappointed with this episode? Have you seen Season 1? And if you haven't, why not? You should go check it out right now. I'm probably going to watch the episode again to go ahead and see if I can catch like any other little small details or hints that I may have missed. This is my initial reaction and review. So, I mean, if I missed anything, feel free to fill me in. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you can get more content like this, which contains movie news, reviews, and reactions from your boy Derek, right here at Anamanji. Until next time, stay dope.